In this tutorial, I'll show you how to display an end of level or end of game splash screen. When I collect this last Coke can, we have the splash screen, and if I press any key, it either goes to the next level or quits the game. I'll also show you how, when the health of the android falls to 0, how to display a death scene for 1 second before restarting the level. The starting point for this tutorial is the file created in the previous tutorial where I showed how to make the android bounce off the cactus obstacle. I have given meaningful names to some of the logic bricks which I didn't get round to in the tutorial, and I'll put the starting file on my website freemovies.co.uk at the Blender channel there. First thing I'm going to do is give a meaningful name to the original scene. I'm going to call it Game Scene. Then I'm going to add a new scene by clicking the plus and selecting new, and I'm going to call the new scene Death Scene, and we'll go to this scene when the android's health falls to 0. I'm going to change the layout from game logic to default. Work on the new death scene. I'm going to file, append a model of a gravestone I made. Go into the object folder and append. In the top view, I'm going to press R to rotate and rotate that. I'll type in a numeric value of 90 and enter, and there's our simple gravestone. Every scene must have at least one camera, so I'm going to add a camera. I can zoom back with the mouse wheel and move it up using the 3D manipulator widget. I'm going to shift the middle mouse button to pan that down, and that one there. I'm going to move the camera to the side and forwards, and I'm going to press R to rotate and rotate it so it's pointing towards the gravestone, and I'm going to the view menu, cameras, set active object as camera. I'm going to press R to rotate and rotate it that way. It's pointing towards the gravestone. Now I'm going to try local RZZ or ZZ and rotate it that way, and RXX and rotate it that way, and I think that will do. I'm going to go back to game logic layout. I'm going to change the view to camera. For some reason I have to do that twice. I'm going to zoom back and pan down. I'm going to add logic bricks. I could add them to the camera, but I think I'll add them to the gravestone. I'm going to add logic bricks that will delay the return to the game scene by a second. If I put the delay at 60, there's 60 frames per second. That should be a delay of a second. I'm adding an actuator, a scene actuator, that will set the scene to be the game scene. And if I just connect that up, before we can test those logic bricks, we have to go back to the game scene, and I have to add some logic bricks to the empty, which I rename game. I'm going to add a property sensor, and that will sense when the property health is equal to 0. It will then send a signal straight to an AND gate to a scene actuator that will set the scene to be the death scene. So we connect that up. Now we can test the logic bricks. Just move that down a bit and start the game engine and walk forward into a cactus, and my health is going down, 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 down until the health reaches 0, display the death scene and reset the level. I'm going to call that the end of part 1 of this tutorial. In part 2 of the tutorial, I'll show you what to do when all the Coke cans have been collected. It's similar in that you go to an end scene, but there's quite a lot of differences as well. So see you in part 2.